Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about types of characters and character traits, okay? We're going to have a little bit of fun. You will be watching some YouTube videos. I would definitely pay attention to the end of the presentation, just saying. All right, so first off there, we have two types of characters that we're going to talk about today. We have our protagonist and our antagonist. The protagonist is always going to be the main character of the story. They're usually fighting for the good side, okay, is how we would characterize them. And then the antagonist is the character who has a conflict with the protagonist. So in Harry Potter, obviously Harry Potter is the main character, where Voldemort is the antagonist. He's the one that's always kind of after Harry Potter. There are some other antagonists though as well. We have Draco Malfoy in there. So there can be more than one protagonist sometimes and more than one antagonist. Think about our story A Long Walk to Water. Salva has the bulk of the story, right? So he's definitely the protagonist. But then Naya also has part in it. So she could be a second protagonist, okay? Just remember that protagonist is the main character and antagonist is the person that's having the type of conflict with them. Normally, protagonist is the good side. They're working for the good. And antagonist is working for the bad side, okay? Can you think of any protagonists and antagonists from books, TV shows, or movies? Okay, superheroes are really easy to name. You know, we have the Joker, who would be an antagonist, and Batman, who would be a protagonist. Okay, so think about your favorite TV show. Who's the protagonist and who's the antagonist? There might be multiple. Character traits are going to is the next thing we're going to talk about. These are going to tell us how our characters look, how they feel, and how they act. Okay, so we have to pay attention to a lot of things. One, the physical description of our characters. We're also going to have to think about the way they speak or the thoughts that we are aware of and what they do, their actions. How do they react to other characters? And then also always pay attention to what the narrator says because sometimes they give us some character traits as well. Character traits, guys, are really just the way that we describe our characters. So, what are some character traits that best describe me, let's say, Mrs. Nugent? Like, you can't say quiet, right? We all know I'm not quiet. What are some words that you could use to describe me? You can describe me physically. You can say I'm short. You can say I'm in my 20s or 30s. You can say I have brown hair and brown eyes. If you were to describe my personality, what would you say? You might say loud, boisterous, hyper, right? So think of just ways that you could describe your teachers. You will get a bonus point if you email me one character trait that describes Mrs. Nugent. So send me a character trait. You'll get a bonus point, just saying. All right. Can character traits that you use to describe a character change throughout a story? Yes, the answer is yes. Think about it. Sometimes we're in different moods. Sometimes we react to things differently. People change, so character traits should change too. All right, I'm going to post a video from Sing, and I want you to really pay attention to Rosita and Gunter, okay? And I want you to come up with some words to describe them. As you watch it, jot down 3 or 4 words to describe each character. What character traits would we use to describe Gunter? Okay, I don't know about you guys, but the first character trait that comes to my mind is hilarious. Oh my gosh, he's so funny. But he's also kind of a ditz. He's all over the place. What about Rosita? What would you say about Rosita? You may say that she's nice and she's kind. She's very giving, all right? So we're looking for evidence in the video to support our character traits. Now we're going to go ahead and read this selection, and we're going to be looking for character traits that we would use to describe Mary. Mary had been trying to solve the same math problem for an hour. She kept writing and rewriting the problem over and over again. When she kept getting the wrong answer, she put her hands on her head, leaned back in her chair, and said, "I quit! I will never get it right!" Then she tore up the paper and threw it away. What's a good character trait that we could use to describe Mary? Think about it for a second, ponder it maybe. What could it be? I would say frustrated for sure. Okay. She's annoyed, definitely. Try to put yourself in Mary's shoes and think, how is she feeling? Okay, that always helps me. All right, our final thing, we are going to look at Flash from Zootopia. Go ahead and just pause this video and go watch the other video. I posted it on Buzz. And give me some character traits that describe Flash. Flash is such a hilarious character. So Flash, obviously he would be lethargic or slow, right? He moves in slow motion. Okay. So what are some other words that we could use to describe Flash? Do the same thing for Judy. Practice it. Jot some words down, okay? All right. Your show it today. You are going to read in questions 1 through 4. You are going to read some excerpts from some stories and determine the best character traits to describe a given character. Then on the last question, you are going to identify one character trait that describes you, and you must explain why. Give me evidence. If you're going to tell me that you're loud, give me an example of a time that you were loud, okay? Make sure you answer in complete sentences. Don't give me a one-word answer. All right, and bonus points. From first period, Ayala H. From second period, Reed B. From sixth period, Dinesh B. If you send me an email and say, I saw my name in the presentation, your whole class will get bonus points, okay? Good luck, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know.